doesn't blow. When we had really cold days, we were reliant on importing from the EU on coal and on gas. How are we going to replace that in the short term?
Quite frankly, I'm not a scientist. What I am doing is listening to what all the experts are saying. We're living in this insane world where the experts aren't being listened to.
It's time to pick a side. We don't have time to waste anymore.
Why were you arrested?
For sitting down with my friends after they painted a building. I didn't do anything. I sat on a pavement. And now I've got a bit of orange paint on me and apparently that's a crime now. I'm not a criminal. I'm a scared little kid trying to fight for their future.
The United Nations has called for no more oil and gas. The International Energy Agency has said we can have no new oil and gas. The IPCC report, the largest global report on the climate crisis, have all said we can have no new oil and gas. How many more experts need to say it?
Because we can't do it tomorrow. What are we going to do in terms of transport? That we still need petrol for cars and we need diesel for lorries. How are we going to get goods into supermarkets without this?
Quite frankly, I'm not a scientist. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the world and we're living the effects of the climate crisis today. Right now, people are dying. Children are starving. Families are fleeing their homes.
Your parents! There's a lot of kids in that place. Come on! Move to once and let's just the bus go. You got kids in the bus. Come on, guys. There's a kid in the bus. They need to go to school. You're all parents, aren't you? Do you want to speak on the story? Look, there's a kid in there. My son's going to go to our parent. He's missing it.
But think of all the dolphins that are dying.
Hey, forget about dolphin, man. Forget about dolphin, man. What animal are you? Forget animal. What about dolphin, man? What are we talking about? What's animal? Are they human? Please.
Energy is...
And it's preventable. We have the solutions.
Cheap energy is one of the things that has hugely extended life expectancy by the ability to control temperatures, whether this is by air conditioning or by heating, the ability to store food more effectively, the ability to transport food, and indeed use fertilisers to grow more food, has all been essential in increasing life expectancy. Taking all that away would be disastrous for life expectancy.
Do you know what's essential in keeping our food supply? Tackling the climate crisis. This year we lost a third of our wheat crops, half of our potato crops, and it's only going to get worse. We're heading to a future where people are going to be fighting over the last loaves of bread at Lidl.
But the only way we get our wheat crop is by putting the fertilisers on that come from fossil fuels. How are we going to replace that? That the productivity of organic farming is so much lower than of modern farming methods. We cannot feed the world on organic farming, and you must know that.
How do you expect to feed the world when our crops are destroyed by droughts, floods, wildfires, storms?
You've always had weather events that have affected crops, but that actually using fossil fuels for fertilisers and moving on to genetic modification of crops has enormously increased the yield. That since Malthus rate, we've increased agricultural productivity by about 2% per annum. And this is what is allowing people to get extended life expectancy because they've got more certainty of food. And this all depends on cheap energy, which has come from fossil fuels.
Jacob, you have 6 children? Do you not care about their future? Do you not care about them being able to feed themselves? Because right now, under this government's policies, your 6 children are heading towards a future that is filled with life-threatening extreme weather events, crop failures, famine, war. Suffering on a scale completely unimaginable.
I think you've taken the evidence for an evolving climate and then applied it in an extraordinarily extreme way and are forgetting about the enormous advantages.
I can't believe you're talking to me about an evolving climate.
Well, the climate is...
People are dying.
But this is
Do you
a
know
statement...
how many people are suffering around the world?
What evidence is there that this is because we're using fossil fuels, that the climate evolves, but more people die each year from cold than from heat, as you know?
Have you read the IPCC report? What do you mean? What science?
But in terms, you're making extreme claims, but you're suggesting by not using fossil fuels, we would not produce the food we need to feed the world population.
I'm suggesting that if we keep on heading down this genocidal path of mass destruction, then no, there won't be any foods in the supermarket. Then we will see vast swathes of the world uninhabitable. We will see mass displacement of people.
But if you took out fossil fuels tomorrow, you would simply not have the productivity of agriculture you need to feed 8 or 9 billion people. And that would be tomorrow. And I'm not saying you shouldn't reduce emissions. I'm not arguing that. I'm simply saying you must do it when you have the technology to replace the energy that you're using. Because otherwise, all the consequences you're arguing for will happen immediately. We will simply not have the food we need to feed the population of the world.
What is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people?
Relationship, is it cheating to go to the strip club?
No, because strippers aren't human.
Hung, 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 hung.
Bow, 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 bow.
Bodies, 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 bodies.
All right, ladies, if you're a stay-at-home mom and your backup plan in case of divorce is your ex-husband is going to pay alimony and child support, listen up. When I filed for divorce for my ex-husband, he was making over $200,000 a year. I kicked him out in October of 2018. He paid me nothing.
A few moments later.
Social media fucked up everything. It made more avenues for money now.
Right. For sure.
But it fucked up everything. Marriages. Everything. At first, your bitch used to just see the niggas at work, you, and that's it, and come home. That's all she had to look at. Now she got about 30,000 niggas to look at. You heard me? For when you don't act right. And she hypnotized by all the other the bitches getting shit on Instagram that she ain't getting. So all that time you didn't put in but no money, it fucked up everything. It fucked up you too. All you had to look at was your side bitches, your bitches at work, your bitch at home, and come back. That's all we had. That's all. It was a couple side bitches from the other side of town. Now you hypnotized.
Yeah.
You look at your bitch and you see 1,000 bitches look better.
At their best too.
And you looking way better than your bitch. You look over at your bitch, you like, it fucked up. It made us hoes, bro. It made us hoes.
No, I did.
It made your bitch a hoe. It made your nigga a hoe.
Social media made a way for broke dudes and rich dudes to get your girl. It only take a little talk game. If your girl that's susceptible to dudes just talking to her, slide up on her story, anything, you be fighting up dudes every single day.
Guys really wanting a girl is for them to be quiet, make food, and have a fat ass.
What are women exclusively held accountable for?
Oh, I'm not exclusively held accountable for just women? I'm not sure. I can't think of anything.
Can you think of any problems in society that aren't blamed on men?
Got him. We fucking got him.
That's a good question. I really have no answer for that. I think we're not really held accountable for anything, and everything gets blamed on men.
Girlfriend just gave birth to our first child.
Congratulations.
I know I'm not the biological father. Yikes. And I revealed I knew as soon as she gave birth.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I found out when she was about 6 months along that it wasn't mine. A guy, Brian, approached me at my work and asked me, "Are you Sarah's boyfriend?" I said, "Yeah," and asked what he wanted. He said he was sorry that he had slept with her and swore he didn't know that she was with someone. He then pulled out his phone to show the text between them, and they came to an agreement to just pretend the baby was mine. In return, she wouldn't lose her perfect life, and he wouldn't be responsible for a baby. I started packing up my stuff to leave. She asked where I was going, and I told her. I know I'm not baby name's father. You can act all shocked, but I know. Just ask Brian to come. I'm positive he'll sign the birth certificate. Then I left. She's been calling my phone over and over, even sending texts as I type.
Gotcha, bitch.
Red flag number one is when she has another guy in her life who is consistently trying to sleep with her, and she refuses to acknowledge this. This is gonna cause a lot of fights in the car ride home. This is my favorite one. You clapping hard as fuck. You had an argument recently. This isn't the funniest one, but you better believe every dude in here in a relationship right now knows the guy in his girl's life that he's like, fuck that dude, I'll kill him tomorrow.
When it comes to women, you have to let women do what they need to do to support their families. You want to go to a nice school, Six Flags, Universal, travel,
Wiz Khalifa pays you nearly $15,000 a month in child support. He gave you a $1 million lump sum payout. What are you doing with this money?
See, I don't respect all hustles. See, when you become a porn star, see, people gotta recognize that, like, doing porn, it really affect your child, because when he in that classroom, you think he want to hear his mama in there getting clapped? Come on now.
If you had a chance to ask God any question and get the answer immediately, what would you ask him?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't think I would ask God a question. I would just give him thanks.
That's so
I used to ask why, but guess what why stands for? Who hurt you? Guess what it stands for again? Who helped you? Guess what it stands for again? What healed you? So then when you ask them questions, you find your purpose. So I feel like there's no reason to ask God why. God does things to build you, not kill you. So I don't think I would ask. I would just give God thanks if I had to ask him a question.
Hey, if you like this video right here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram at KM.Little with 2 E's. Also, I have a Patreon, and I also have a private community where I talk to y'all 2-3 hours every single day. It's in the link below, also with the Discord. So join the Discord.